Today, we're diving into something that so many people find incredibly frustrating: stubborn body fat. But what if I told you that fat isn't a sign you're failing? What if it's actually a super sophisticated defense mechanism? We're about to explore a whole new way of looking at this that could honestly change everything.
So, does this sound like you? You're doing all the right things, right? You're eating clean, you're hitting the gym, but your body just isn't getting the memo. You feel wiped out, your muscles feel kind of weak, and that last bit of fat is just clinging on for dear life. It's a super common story, and today we're going to explore a model that suggests the answer isn't to just try harder. It's about understanding a secret battle happening deep inside your body.
All right, so to really get what's going on, we need to play detective. We've got to follow the trail of some invisible suspects that are getting into our bodies every single day, often hiding in plain sight in the foods we eat all the time.
Okay, let's meet our lineup of suspects. Xenobiotics. It's a bit of a sciencey term, but it basically just means substances that are foreign to our bodies. We're talking about really common food additives, the emulsifiers that make your salad dressing smooth, the preservatives that keep your snacks from going bad, even stuff that's created when you cook food at super high temperatures. The most important thing to get here is that our bodies don't really recognize this stuff as food. They see it as a low-level but constant invasion.
So what actually happens when we eat these things? Well, it's a four-step process. First, things like emulsifiers can mess with the lining of your gut. Think of it like they're poking tiny little holes in a security fence. This lets these weird molecules and fragments sneak into your bloodstream where they absolutely do not belong. Step 3, your immune system spots these intruders and sounds this quiet, silent alarm. Finally, they all end up with the liver, which is your main detox organ. It tries its best to process them, but it just gets overwhelmed. It can't get rid of everything, and this creates a constant, low-level toxic situation.
Now, this is where things get really fascinating. You see, there's a huge blind spot in how we usually think about safety. The official assumption is usually based on a single dose. But, that's not how we live, right? The reality for us is a chronic, daily drip, drip, drip of these substances. This creates a constant toxic burden that our body has to try and manage 24/7.
And the result of this constant burden? It's a state called low-grade chronic inflammation. I love the analogy here. It's not a 5-alarm fire. It's that annoying, persistent chirp from a smoke detector in the middle of the night. It's your body just constantly saying, hey, something's not right. Something is always not right. And that is exactly what can lead to feeling tired, weak, and just generally unwell.
And this brings us to the hero of our story. Or maybe the completely misunderstood protector, your body fat. This is where the whole narrative really takes a sharp turn.
We all know fat is for energy storage, right? That's what we've always been taught. But that's just a tiny part of the story. Your fat tissue is actually a dynamic immune organ. And here's the kicker. In this whole scenario, it acts as a protective buffer. When all those foreign substances are floating around in your blood, your body needs a safe place to stash them to protect your vital organs, like your brain and your heart. And guess what the safest place is? Yep, your fat tissue.
Just let that sink in for a second. Your body stops you from losing weight because losing weight equals intoxication. It's not fighting your diet because it's broken or stubborn. It's fighting your weight loss because in this state, releasing fat means releasing all those stored toxins right back into your system. Losing weight literally becomes an act of self-poisoning.
And this is exactly how it works. So you go on a diet, you start working out, and your body starts to burn fat. But along with that energy comes a flood of those stored toxins. Your immune system freaks out, your body sees this as a major threat, and it slams the brakes on burning fat. It's a survival mechanism. This is the biological reason you hit that frustrating plateau.
Now, I know this might sound like a pretty radical idea, but here's the thing. It's a model that's actually gaining some serious traction as official science starts looking for answers beyond just calories in, calories out.
Check this out. Prevent 2026. This is a real international research initiative, and its whole purpose is to investigate the very things we're talking about right now, the understudied mechanisms and the neglected determinants of obesity. They're basically saying, hey, what have we been missing? And this isn't just some theory for the distant future. Look at the timeline. This is happening now. The calls for research are out, and scientists are being funded to explore these exact questions, with the actual project set to kick off in 2026. This table connects all the dots perfectly. When the official research goals talk about investigating understudied mechanisms, well, that's the whole toxemia pathway we just walked through.
When they say neglected determinants, that's things like food additives. It's all about finding the root cause. This is a huge sign that these ideas are moving from the fringe right into the mainstream.
Okay, so with all of this new information, how in the world should we start rethinking the signals our own bodies are sending us? This is where it all comes together. Let's go back to those really frustrating symptoms from the beginning, but look at them through this new lens. That stubborn fat, it's not a failure of your willpower, it's a brilliant protective adaptation. That muscle weakness, it's not you being lazy, it's a sign that your immune system is under an incredible amount of stress. And even something like insulin resistance can be seen as a logical defense, a way for your body to protect its cells from chaos.
So here's the big takeaway. The solution isn't to declare war on your body. It's not about more extreme diets or more punishing workouts. The real strategy is to lower the threat level. It's about reducing that toxic load so your body can finally let its guard down.
And so, that leaves us with one last question to think about. What if this whole journey to getting healthy isn't about waging a war on your body at all? What if it's really about finally understanding what your body has been trying so desperately to protect you from all along?